now we were at these questions and we were at question number 14. Okay. So, Osaya, which reaction is a reversible reaction? Okay, we did dynamic equilibrium. So, which of the reaction is a reversible reaction? So, just through your general knowledge, like I'll explain everything. Let's look at the first one. Okay, is that rusting of iron? Is it reversible or not? I mean, just can you reverse an iron that has already rusted completely? Anyone, yes or no?
No.
Yes. Hamza, any idea? The first one, it's not reversible, okay? Like if the iron gets completely rusted, then it's gone. It is completely wasted. It's very hard to actually reverse that. I mean, everything is kind of reversible on this planet. Like if you burn wood, you can kind of make more wood, but that takes time. Okay? Whenever they talk about reversible reactions, they talk about something that could reverse at the same time instantly. Okay? For example, water turning into liquid, water liquid turning into gas, which is steam. Now that can be reversed instantaneously at the same time. So whenever they're talking about reversible reaction, they're talking about something that happens immediately. As a limestone, limestone is marble. Marble carbonates, they decompose. They decompose and they produce calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This equation is given in the. I mean, this equation we did cover very briefly. It's given in the data sheet of acid, base, and salts. Okay, let me just quickly check if it's. There were decomposition reactions that were given or written over here. Decomposition reactions. Decomposition is when you heat something, it decomposes, breaks down into smaller pieces. So carbonates would decompose. Yahan I made you do a correction, carbon dioxide, and this was actually water. So a metal carbonate would break down and produce metal oxide and carbon dioxide. Now that's marble corroding away. Marble that's outside your homes, that eventually slowly it corrodes. Okay, so marble corrodes, breaks down, and that is not reversible. You can't sort of change that back into calcium carbonate at the same time. So pretty hard to do that. So if you burn magnesium, magnesium is a metal. It reacts with oxygen in air and produces magnesium oxide. That's not reversible as well. The only thing that's reversible is the last one. Anhydrous salt, you can add water to it. Let's say 5 water molecules can be added to it, and it turns into a hydrated salt. और उसको अगर heat करो ना, तो it turns back into anhydrous salt. Okay, that thing is reversible. Okay, if you have an anhydrous salt, anhydrous का मतलब है कि it's without water. So you add water to it, it becomes hydrated. ठीक है, आपके घर में जो normal table salt है ना, which is NaCl. So, वालेकुम. So you have normal NaCl, you add water to it, it turns moist. Crystals बन जाते हैं hard किस्म के, it becomes solid. You heat it, it goes back, it becomes anhydrous again. So you can remove water, you can add water to a salt. So remember, that is one reaction that is always reversible. और इसमें color changes भी होती हैं कि in the data sheet that I had given you, ये जो anhydrous salts है ना, इनके colors होते हैं. Anhydrous copper sulfate is white. The one that has water in it, that is blue in color. इसी तरह cobalt chloride, hydrous with water, it's pink. Anhydrous without water, it's blue in color. तो salt के अंदर से ना आप water remove भी कर सकते हो, water add भी कर सकते हो. So that is one reaction that is reversible. So the answer to this one is D. Here, next one. Achha, so is this clear? Okay, if your last one, that's the one that's reversible. All the rest are not reversible. They're like permanent changes.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, when heated strongly silicon 4 oxide, बल्कि ये last one ये जो मैंने बताया ना कि hydrated salts, anhydrous salts, you get a lot of questions on reversible reactions on these, or उनके color changes पे. Make sure you remember those color changes. When heated strongly, silicon 4 oxide reacts with carbon, so it does, which term describes what happens to silicon 4 oxide. So this is something that we haven't done, but it's a simple concept. It's a redox reaction. Usme na, there's a concept called oxidation. Now, oxidation is referred to the process where oxygen is gained. So it's a gain of oxygen. If you see a loss of hydrogen, or you see a loss of electrons. Whenever you see this happening, that's oxidation. So can you look at this reaction and tell me which substance in over here is getting oxidized?
Carbon, CO.
Okay, so carbon is changing into carbon monoxide, which is that it is gaining oxygen. So whenever you see something gaining oxygen, that is oxidation. Reduction is exactly the opposite. It's a loss of oxygen, loss of, sorry, not loss, but gain of hydrogen atoms. Or it's a gain of electrons. Okay, so it's a simple concept, oxidation reduction. Just note this down. What's happening to silicon over here? Oxidation or reduction? What happened to it?
Reduction.
So that is reduction. Reduction is happening. So whenever you see any of these happening, remember when something loses electrons, what happens to it? Its charge increases. In redox, you call it oxidation state. So I can write it over here. When something loses electrons, it becomes more positive. So it oxidation state or charge increases. Oxidation state is similar to charge. Okay, so whenever something loses electrons, it becomes more positive. Whenever something gets reduced, its charge decreases. It becomes more negative. Okay, for example, if Cl turns into Cl minus 1, so what's happening to the charge? It's decreasing. That means it's gaining 1 electron. So that is reduction. If something was neutral and its charge increases, it becomes Na plus 1. That means it lost 1 electron. So whenever you see the charge increasing, that is a loss of electrons happening. Whenever you see the charge decreasing, that's a gain of electrons. I'm just going to quickly, we can, on this, we can do a small, there's a very small assignment. We'll just do the simple questions. First one, I'll just, so this is, we'll just do this over here. So can you even tell me what is this? Oxidation or reduction? Loss of electrons or gain of electrons?
Loss.
ठीक है, so that is oxidation. कि पहले आपका charge जो था ना, that was 0, now it's plus 1. So the charge is increasing. ठीक है, so remember this. Where did it go? Just a second. I just remember this. Whenever the charge increases, oxidation state increases, that's a loss of electrons happening. And whenever, I mean, you can use the word reduction. Reduction means that the charge reduces, it decreases. That's a gain of electrons. It becomes more negative. So this is a bromine neutral molecule going into minus 1. That's decreasing, charge decreasing. So that is reduction. It's getting reduced. This is charge increasing, so that is oxidation. That means it lost electrons. Exactly how many? It lost 1 electron. So what's happening over here? It's decreasing.
Reduction.
Okay, or exactly it's gaining how many electrons? It gains 2 electrons. 6 plus to 2 plus. Okay. So what's happening here? There are redox reactions. Can you even tell me what's happening to zinc? Oxidation or reduction?
Oxidation.
You get charge increasing, it loses electrons, that is oxidation. And what's happening? Silver is going from +1 to 0. So that is reduction.
Reduction.
Okay. So what about what's happening to chromium over here?
Oxidation.
Okay. Or tin is getting reduced.
Reduction.
But so it's a simple concept, and you can do this with oxygen atoms or with hydrogen atoms as well. Okay, can you tell me what's happening to nitrogen over here? It gained hydrogen atoms, okay? So if it gained hydrogen,
Oxidation.
then if it gained hydrogen atoms, the gain of hydrogen atoms is reduction.
Reduction.
Okay. Gain of oxygen, that is oxidation. So you can remember this oxidation is gain of oxygen, okay? So uska opposite kya hoga? That's reduction, loss of oxygen, okay? So you can remember it this way by using the word oxidation. Reduction se yaad rakho, the charge must decrease. And there's one more thing about this, and that is in redox reactions, there's another thing which is you give them certain names. Anything that's getting reduced, if something is getting reduced, that's called the oxidizing agent. तो इनके नाम उल्टे होते हैं. So for example, if this is undergoing reduction, this would be called the oxidizing agent. If this is getting oxidized, then this would be called the reducing agent. The reason you give them opposite names is because like if I write a reaction, if I write one reaction, so the reason you give them opposite names is that Cr2 plus is getting oxidized, which basically means that it loses electrons. So if one of them loses electrons, it gives it to the other one. So the one that's getting oxidized is causing the other one to get reduced. But if Cr2 plus over here is losing electrons, so where are those electrons going? They're going to tin 4 plus. That is the one that ends up gaining electrons or getting reduced. So who is making it? I mean, why is it getting reduced? Who's causing its reduction? It's Cr2 plus. So वो खुद oxidize हो रहा है, it's losing electrons, but it causes the other one to get reduced, which is why this is known as the reducing agent. The names are opposite, okay? This is going to be called the reducing agent. The thing that gets oxidized is the reducing agent. Is this point clear as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for example, Fe2 plus, its charge decreases, reduces. So that's undergoing reduction. It gains electrons. So that means it is the oxidizing agent. Okay, because it gains electrons, so it must gain electrons from somewhere. So it's taking away electrons from Al. It's causing Al to lose electrons. So it's causing Al to get oxidized. So that's why this is the oxidizing agent. So that's the simple concept of redox reactions. Okay, you just have to remember this thing. Okay, what is meant by oxidation? What is meant by a reduction? So anyways, this is silicon is undergoing reduction over here. The next one is the graph shows the pH of a solution changes as an acid is added to an alkali. So remember, okay, acid is being added. So tops in a, I'm assuming it's titration happening, or somebody's just adding an acid to an alkali. An alkali, remember, is a base. It's a base that dissolves in water. Okay? An alkali is referred to a base that dissolves in water. Bases क्या होती थी? Bases होती थी, यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ भी था कि bases are oxides and hydroxides. They're all bases, and bases that dissolve in water are alkalis. तो यहाँ पे ना वो लिखा हुआ भी है कि which one oxides and hydroxides are soluble? Those that are low, I mean group 1, and those that are lower down in group 2. So these can be called alkalis as well. अब यहाँ पे कि नहीं, इधर नहीं, question का यहाँ पे which letter represents the area of the graph where both acid and salt are present? So both acid and salt are present. ये मुझे था कि the question is it going to be after the neutralization point? Now this is a tricky question actually. Saying the solution contains the acid and the salt, not the alkali. Okay, which letter represents the area of the graph where both acid and salt are present? First thing, ऊपर से आप acid डाल रहे हो drop by drop, ठीक है? Now listen to this carefully. You're adding the acid drop by drop. So what's happening to the alkali? The alkali is getting, I mean, it's getting used up. It's वो react कर रहा है, it's turning into salt, right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
अब होगा ये कि there's going to be a neutralization point when the last molecule of the alkali would react, and ऊपर से आप acid add किए जा रहे हो, the acid reacts with the alkali, and the last molecule of the alkali would react and turn into salt. तो अब आपके solution में क्या पड़ा हुआ है? Just the salt. That's known as the neutralization point. तो हम C पे आ गए हैं, pH 7, ठीक है? ये clear है?
जी सर.
शुरू में alkali थी, तो शुरू में क्या था? A, B और C. ठीक है, there was alkali और alkali कम होती जा रही थी. Alkali is basic, it's 14. So right at the beginning, you had the pH was 14. Alkali got used up, started turning into salt, and the last molecule of the alkali got used up, and you only have salt now. So say acid and salt. So you're not stopping, you're adding more acid from the top. The acid has nothing to react with. So salt के साथ क्या चीज बीच में add होनी चाहिए, हो जाएगी? The extra acid that you're adding. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, सलीम clear है? आमना?
Yes, sir.
तो अब issue ये कि this would make the solution acidic. कि वैसे वो तो वैसे भी guess कर सकते थे. Salt is neutral और acid होगा तो acidic ही होगा, ठीक है? So it's going to be D, somewhere around this point, acidic pH. So if element G is a group 1 metal of the periodic table and element H is a non-metal in group 7, both of these elements form oxides. So which statement are correct? Now, right at the beginning, we said that जब हम acid और bases पढ़ रहे थे, we said that on the left, you've got metals that like to lose electrons, they like to form positive ions, and you've got non-metals which like to gain electrons and they like to form negative ions. Now the issue is, okay, metal oxides are basic. For example, sodium oxide or hydroxides, okay? They're all basic. Non-metal oxides are acidic. Okay, their oxides are acidic. For example is phosphorus oxide, sulfur oxide, they all form acids, sulfuric acid, carbon dioxide, they're all acidic. So the first statement is incorrect. Both oxides are acidic, both oxides are basic. I mean, these are acidic and these are acidic and these are basic. Remember, metal oxides are basic and non-metal oxides are acidic. They all turn into acids. The oxide of G is acidic. What is G? G is group 1. And the oxide of H is basic. That's also wrong. The oxide of H is acidic. HA wala tha, non-metal. And the oxide of G is basic. That is going to be correct. So is this clear? कि याद रखना है कि metal oxides are basic and non-metal oxides are acidic. ठीक है, remember this. और ये यहाँ पे ना जो data sheet है ना उसमें I have written this as well कि ये जो acidic oxides है ना, they're all non-metal oxides. Sulfur trioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, they form nitric acid. Phosphoric acid is formed. Carbon dioxide, that's carbonic acid. So is this clear? This one, Hamza, clear? Everyone else was not clear.
Yes, sir.
Ji sir.
So first thing, by looking at this, there's a salt preparation method. Which method is this? I mean, is it titration? I mean, the 3 methods, but first one, is it titration? किसमें filter out करना होता था? कौन सा method होता था जिसके अंदर filter out? Excess method में, ठीक है? Remember, excess method में you filter out. अच्छा, when you use the excess method, we data sheet देख लेते हैं कि excess method was used when you had insoluble reactants. ये भी correct कर लेना. And the product was soluble. So that was when excess method was actually used. So वो कह रहा है, what are X and Y? Now you're trying to make copper sulfate. He's already shown you that the salt that they're trying to make is copper sulfate. First thing is, by looking at the salt, which acid would you use? ठीक है, नहीं acid, sulfuric acid use करोगे.
Sulfuric acid, जी sir.
और remember salt preparation के क्या क्या reactions होते थे? Salt preparation के reactions थे ये सारे. It could either be acid plus base, or acid plus metal carbonate तो salt बनेगा, या फिर acid plus metal बनाएगा salt. और ammonium salts के लिए it was acid plus ammonia, ठीक है? Right now it's not an ammonium salt, it's not NH4 का, तो इसमें बीच में कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है. So it's just a salt. So it's either 3 of these, ठीक है? Metal carbonate, metal or base. So you've got 3 options. So the base could be copper oxide or hydroxide, metal oxide, metal hydroxide. ठीक है, oxide hydroxide एक ही चीज है, ठीक है? तो base plus acid will produce salt plus water. अच्छा, it could also be copper carbonate plus sulfuric acid. तो same salt बनेगी, copper sulfate plus water, लेकिन साथ carbon dioxide would be produced, ठीक है? So, and in this case, you wouldn't do metal plus acid. I mean, metal plus acid produces salt plus H2. But this reaction will not happen. मैंने एक word use किया था metals के लिए कि कौन से metals सिर्फ use करने हैं? Mazet. If you remember this, I told you कि only Mazet metals need to be
Yes, sir.
used. Because some metals are very unreactive. Copper is very unreactive. The reactivity is also given over here. If you look at the reactivity, potassium is the most reactive. The least reactive ones, copper is right at the bottom. ठीक है? आपके घरों में wires बनती हैं, 40 years हो जाते हैं, 50 years हो जाते हैं, 100 years हो जाते हैं. Nothing happens to those wires. They're very unreactive. ठीक है? So copper is almost as unreactive as gold or silver. Pretty unreactive. ठीक है? So you're not going to use the first one, Mazet metals. जो बीच वाले हैं. बीच वाले कौन से? Magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron and tin. Because उससे ऊपर वाले they react explosively, so you're going to get explosions with them. Or bottom ones, they're very, very unreactive. ठीक है? So you're not going to use them. अच्छा, so copper is out of the question. Don't use copper. ठीक है? Sulfur का तो काम नहीं था. So the only one left is going to be copper oxide. That's a base plus acid reaction. And is it, so it's, but the copper oxide and hydroxide is the same thing. So we're actually talking about this one. But let's go change कर लेना copper oxide में. Hydroxides and oxides are kind of the same thing. But is it going to be an excess method? ठीक है हमजा. So is it going to be excess method? Copper hydroxide is insoluble, solid होता है. Look at the solubility table. ये soluble होता है. Acids are all soluble. Sulfates are also all soluble. तो excess method में आप क्या करते थे कि you add excess of copper hydroxide. This is the solid. It's solid. इसको excess में add करते थे. And the solution had Y in it. It had sulfuric acid in it. So you would add excess of copper hydroxide. इतना डालते थे कि all the sulfuric acid would react and it would turn into copper sulfate. तो वो जो extra copper hydroxide था, that was just filtered out. ठीक है, that is what you did. कि sulfuric acid के अंदर इतना copper hydroxide डालते थे कि all of it turns into copper sulfate. और वो जो extra बचा हुआ copper hydroxide है, that is filtered out. So this was excess method. ठीक है? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
फिर अगला कि an aqueous solution of a compound M is tested. तो अब ये सारा टेस्ट है, फ्लेम टेस्ट है. अगेन उसी शीट का रटा लगाना है कि it gives a lilac color in a flame test. So right at the end of the sheet you've got those flame tests. ठीक है? Lilac color, flame color. So that means it's got potassium ions in it. तो इसके अंदर पड़े हुए potassium ions. तो it's either C or D. And it produces white precipitate when tested with barium nitrate. The white precipitate, yes. Any question?
So would it be C?
क्या चीज?
C?
ये देख
Calcium carbonate.
नहीं, वो देख लेते हैं. बैरियम नाइट्रेट के साथ white precipitate. Look at the test. कि कहाँ पे बैरियम के साथ white precipitate. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे तो कोई भी नहीं है. इधर anions में देख लो. It's not a test for carbonate. You don't add barium. Sulfate का देखो. Add barium. What do you get? White precipitate. तो इसका मतलब है कौन सा ion present है?
Sulfate D.
So it's going to be D. ठीक है? So it's going to be D. तो फ्लेम से पता लगा कि पोटेशियम है और सल्फेट पता लगा बैरियम नाइट्रेट से. ठीक है? ठीक है, just memorize that sheet. ठीक है? That is very important. So the character of the elements and charges on the ions of the elements change across the periodic table, which describes the elements on the left of the table and the elements on the right. ये भी हमने किया था. यहाँ पे नॉन मेटल्स होते हैं राइट पे, elements on the right. On the left you've got metals. Main difference is, I mean, the character is metallic and the character over here is non-metallic. They form negative ions, they form positive ions. So iska answer jo hoga, that's going to be A. So that was pretty straightforward. Ke metals, they form positive ions. Non-metals, they form a negative ion. Uske baad which statement about group 1 and group 7 elements is correct? So group 7, are they monatomic? No, they're not. Group 7 jitne bhi hote hain, they're all diatomic. ठीक है? वो यहाँ भी मेंशन किया होगा कि diatomic molecules, the entire group 7, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, they're all diatomic, not monatomic. Can anyone tell me कि monatomic होता कौन सा है वैसे? वो कौन सा एलिमेंट है which is always monatomic?
Hydrogen?
नहीं, हाइड्रोजन भी diatomic है. हाइड्रोजन को देखो ना, it's always H2. ये यहाँ पे
H2 diatomic.
हाँ. Noble gases monatomic होती हैं क्योंकि they don't want to bond with anything. उनके outer shells complete होते हैं. So the first one is wrong. अच्छा, lithium is more reactive than with water than cesium. अच्छा, ये वाला इसमें थोड़ा सा करना पड़ेगा कि metals के अंदर remember कि जो reactivity होती है that increases down the group. जितना आप नीचे जाते रहते हो ना, the more reactive they are. And the reason for that is so they're going to be more reactive down the group. And the reason is metals the electrons क्या करने होते हैं? Lose करने होते हैं when they react. They lose electrons, they always form positive ions. So they always form positive ions. So now the issue is that if they lose electrons and they form positive ions, it's much easier for bigger atoms to lose electrons क्योंकि उनके electrons मतलब इसके देखो ना 87 electrons हैं. So the atom would be like really big. Okay, it will be so big कि जो nucleus होगा ना, that would simply not be, मतलब जितना बड़ा atom होगा ना, the electron would be very far away. ठीक है, तो उसका nucleus जो होगा ना, वो इतने ज्यादा electrons होंगे कि the nucleus will not be able to pull that electron, so it would be easier for it to get away. तो metals के अंदर याद रखना कि they always become more reactive down the group because you got bigger atoms. ठीक है, bigger atoms, it becomes a lot easier to lose electrons. Wasa, Hamza, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, ये वो metals का मैंने भेजा भी था, उसमें reactivity चीज में यही था कि जितना bottom पे होगा उतना reactive होगा. ठीक है, metals के लिए. Non-metals में उल्टा होता है, they like to gain electrons, so non-metals become more reactive up the group. अच्छा, so in this case क्या कह रहे हैं कि कौन क्वेश्चन क्या था कि क्वेश्चन था कि lithium is more reactive than cesium, which is wrong. कि lithium यहाँ पे पड़ा हुआ है टॉप पे, cesium bottom है. Cesium is going to be a lot more reactive. 55 electrons है, it's a lot easier for it to lose electrons. So cesium is going to be a lot more reactive, so this one is also incorrect. A melting point of group 1 metals increases down the group. ये property है कि
Is this true? I think it is.
नहीं, melting point decreases down the group. उसकी
Isn't that like it has more atoms in it, so it will increase?
नहीं, for group 1 I'll explain this one.
Okay,
अच्छा,
sir.
group 1 में होता है कि group 1 के अंदर ना you've got metallic bonding, right? Metallic bonding क्या होती है? It's a bunch of positive ions. सारे metals ना they lose electrons, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is metallic bonding, positive ions in a sea of free moving electrons. Positive ions in a sea of free moving electrons. So they all attract each other. छोटा atom होगा ना, छोटे, remember smaller atoms, they always make stronger bonds because they're all close together, they're tightly packed. When you move down the group, metallic bonding actually becomes weaker because down the group you got bigger ions. Okay, if you have bigger ions, they would be far away from each other. And they're going to be electrons. The metallic bonding would be exactly the same. Every atom would be losing electrons and the electrons would just be roaming around this in a sea of electrons. But bigger atoms, they always make weaker bonds क्योंकि वो दूर दूर होंगे. They won't be very tightly packed. The forces of attraction would be a lot lesser क्योंकि they would be further away from each other. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
तो याद रखना कि metallic bonding and even covalent bonding, it becomes weaker. All types of bonds become weaker if the atom is bigger. तो melting points जो होंगे वो decrease होंगे क्योंकि it would become a lot easier to actually melt it. सही है?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, फिर है कि potassium bromide reacts with chlorine to produce an orange solution. तो अच्छा, इसमें क्या है? इसमें कि ये भी उसमें था कि रिएक्टिविटी से इसका ताल्लुक है कि अभी हमने पढ़ा है कि डाउन द ग्रुप मेटल्स के अंदर ना रिएक्टिविटी इंक्रीजेस, राइट? नॉन मेटल्स के अंदर बिकॉज दे हैव टू गेन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, तो नॉन मेटल्स में होता है कि रिएक्टिविटी इंक्रीज. स्मॉलर एटम्स आर इजी, इट्स इजियर फॉर देम टू गेन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. बड़े एटम्स होते हैं ना 118 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं, अब उसके लिए बहुत मुश्किल होगा कि वो एक और इलेक्ट्रॉन उठा के ना गेन कर ले. So reactivity increases up the group. ठीक है, तो मेटल्स के अंदर reactivity increases down the group, non-metals के अंदर reactivity increases up the group, excluding noble gases. ठीक है, I'm talking about group 7. ये बात clear है? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
अब इसके अंदर एक रूल होता है कि more reactive displaces a less reactive, चाहे वो metals में हो या non-metals में हो. More reactive displaces a less reactive element from its compounds. ये उसमें ना मेटल्स की एक्सट्रैक्शन के अंदर भी अब यही करते थे कि वो आयरन ऑक्साइड को कार्बन से इसलिए रिएक्ट करते थे, कार्बन जो होता था वो ज्यादा रिएक्टिव होता था. अच्छा, सो द थिंग इज कि उसने कहा है कि here's chlorine reacting with KBr. अब मुझे बताओ कि who's more reactive, chlorine or is it Br? Like chlorine is over here. So who's more reactive? Chlorine is more reactive, right? Is this clear?
Sorry. Yes, sir.
तो chlorine क्या करेगा? It will knock out Br. Br को साइड पे करेगा, KCl बन जाएगा. And the Br will get knocked out. Displacement reaction, ठीक है? तो उसका जो कंपाउंड है ना उसमें से Br will get knocked out. तो the more reactive displaces a less reactive from its compounds. और ये याद रखना कि रिएक्टिविटी मेटल्स में नीचे की तरफ इंक्रीज होती है, बड़े एटम्स इट्स इजियर फॉर देम टू लूज इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, और नॉन मेटल्स ने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स गेन करने होते हैं तो रिएक्टिविटी ऊपर की तरफ इंक्रीज होती है. ठीक है हमजा, बस इज दिस क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
तो इस पे चले जाते हैं वापस कि the last one is true कि it does produce an orange solution. Why does it produce an orange solution? क्योंकि कहां पे लिखा था हमने, क्योंकि ब्रोमीन प्रोड्यूस होता है. ब्रोमीन का जो कलर होता है ना वो इधर लिखा हुआ भी है ये डेटा शीट के अंदर कि यहाँ पे कलर ऑफ ब्रोमीन जो है ना ये लिखा हुआ है, इट्स रेड ब्राउन. रेड ब्राउन जो होता है ना दैट्स ऑरेंजिश. ठीक है, रिमेंबर द कलर ऑफ ब्रोमीन. ठीक है हमजा, वसा ये क्लियर है?
Yes.
अच्छा नेक्स्ट वन, इसको बंद करना है. अच्छा नेक्स्ट वन इज के ट्रांजिशन मेटल्स हैव सर्टेन प्रॉपर्टीज. ठीक है, there are 5 properties that you have to remember about transition metals. Property number 1, your titanium is a transition metal. ठीक है, if you look at the periodic table, so it comes over here. ठीक है, the ones in the middle they are transition metals. Transition metal की number 1 property, they've got high melting and boiling points compared to other metals. Pretty high. ठीक है. Second property, they've got very high density as well. जो आपके everyday metals होते हैं ना, they are transition metals, iron वगैरह, so they are heavy as well. Number 3, they form colored compounds. ठीक है, वसा ये उसी में से था, ये मेटल्स की जो हमने प्लेलिस्ट थी. Number 4 is कि they have variable charges, जिसको variable oxidation states कहते हैं. And number 5 is that they're very good catalysts. Whenever you use a catalyst, you use a transition metal. जिस तरह Haber process में it was iron, contact process में it was vanadium, so they're always good catalyst. तो बाकी वो metals हैं, so they're all obviously going to conduct electricity. They can be used as catalysts. They don't have low density, and they do form colored compounds. ठीक है, so it's going to be
B.
B. ये 5 properties याद रखनी है transition metals की. ठीक है. अच्छा, which one is a noble gas? अभी हमने बात भी की थी. Noble gases, would they bond or would they not bond?
No, they won't be.
अच्छा, D और A इनमें से कौन सा होगा?
Sir, D.
नहीं, उसने कहा कि mixture of noble gases. तो ए होगा, दो डिफरेंट नोबल गैसेस होंगे, ठीक है।
Yes, sir.
ये एक ही गैस है, ठीक है। अच्छा, which property is shown by all metals? इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट करते हैं, they all conduct electricity. Remember, बहुत सारे मेटल्स अनरिएक्टिव होते हैं, तो वो कार्बन के साथ नहीं रिएक्ट करते, ठीक है। They form basic oxides. बहुत सारे अनरिएक्टिव होते हैं, they don't react with acids to form salt plus H2, so that's not going to happen, ठीक है। So ये लास्ट भी कर लेते हैं, ये भी मेटल्स के ऊपर है। मुझे तो इंसानों में कौन सा ज्यादा, which one is the most reactive by looking at the reactions? सारे हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड does not react with hydrochloric acid, तो Z is the least reactive, तो मतलब A और B में से होगा। अच्छा, ये फिर है कि
A.
A है कि reacts with steam and hydrochloric acid, तो steam और hydrochloric acid मतलब water और hydrochloric acid दोनों के साथ रिएक्ट कर रहा है, बस कोल्ड के अंदर नहीं कर रहा, मतलब कोल्ड वाटर के साथ नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन अदरवाइज इट्स रिएक्टिंग, ठीक है। एक सेकंड, X क्या होगा, रिएक्ट्स विद हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड बट नॉट विद स्टीम, तो ये थोड़ा सा अनरिएक्टिव है। अच्छा, मतलब ये दो चीजों के साथ रिएक्ट नहीं कर रहा है, एक के साथ कर रहा है। ये हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड के साथ भी रिएक्ट कर रहा है, कोल्ड वाटर के साथ भी कर रहा है, तो स्टीम के साथ तो वैसे ही करेगा, तो Y इज द मोस्ट रिएक्टिव, ठीक है। वो तो इधर भी Y मोस्ट रिएक्टिव है, Z इज द लीस्ट रिएक्टिव, तो बीच में कौन रह गया कि W और X का देखना है, तो W और X में ना X थोड़ा सा अनरिएक्टिव है, तो A ही बन रहा है, ठीक है। इट्स गोइंग टू बी A। ये क्लियर है?
जी सर।
चलो ठीक है, कंटिन्यू करते हैं, कल ये पेपर कंटिन्यू करते हैं। चले, ओके, हाफिज।
Office.